Hi, welcome back to Two Kims.
One Pod.
I'm Peter Kim.
And this is Unji Kim.
And we're back with a fresh new episode, baby. We're in the middle of June.
Piping
wow,
hot.
it is piping hot, and heat waves all across the country.
People are
Grab
dying.
your old folks. Make sure they drank water. My dog is panting so much. I think he ate a full-ass chicken thigh off the counter. So I'm worried about that bone.
Is there a bone in thighs?
Yes. What do you mean? Of course, thigh bone. How do you think the meat sticks together?
Hip bones connected to the
thigh bones.
Thigh bones connected
To the leg bone.
No, it's
Or the drumstick, right? Drumstick and thighs. Anyway.
okay. So
hot.
I wanted to start recording because Peter just shared an electronic music track that he just created all on his own.
A sample.
A sample.
A 90-second track.
Yeah. And it was good. It was good. And it was like, I was
Thanks.
like, is this what you're doing now? And he was explaining to me, it's like, are you about to be a DJ?
Yeah, you said that with the subtext of, are you a DJ? Here's what. I don't know what DJing is, but if it means being around a crowd, I'm not into it. This feels like something like, I was telling you, like my friends who paint.
Yes.
I'm so jealous of, because it's like a meditative craft and art, a creative process that they enjoy, that just solely frustrates me. Sure. Because I think you will liken yourself to this. Like, I hate doing things that I'm bad at.
Yes.
And it frustrates me to no end. And like, if I don't immediately like pick up on it, I get like stank about it.
But I mean,
and painting's one of those things. So is drawing.
But also, this is the thing: creative people also need hobbies. And when you turn, I mean, that's the fact.
Yeah,
I mean, not just
course.
like, and so
You can't
especially
just be doing your thing
all the time, because
Yeah.
once you are making money from it, it becomes a job, it's your career. It's not, you don't have this outlet. And if anyone needs to really do it, it's creative people need some sort of outlet that is purely creative without a thought towards like
a need to commerce or like commercialize
monetize, convert, like achieve a certain level because it becomes much more meditative, as you described it, where it's simply the act of doing it is its own reward. So even that, you need to be somewhat proficient and competent in it in order to achieve that meditative state. So when you're talking about painting, so you were saying that with this MIDI keyboard.
I bought a MIDI keyboard, like a little tiny keyboard, like a 20 keys or something.
Like a little DJ. Like I've been to, you know what I mean?
What do you mean? Oh, like a little...
like, it's like, it's
boom,
definitely
boom,
a thing.
Boom, like pads.
Yes.
It's like being a musician without knowing how to play any music.
But I mean, I will say, like, you do have a proclivity towards it, as you proclaimed on this podcast. At the age of, I believe, 36, I'm a prodigy at the piano.
Oh yeah, that's what I went to. Wait, this is how it all started, Unji.
You're like,
prodigy at 40. It just meant that I unlocked something in myself, and I was like, oh, this feels like I should have been like 5 when I unlocked this.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, like, who, what, when, or why? It's we can all cry over that spilt potential, but like,
sure.
It is like it's interesting because it is also very a few like keys down from comedy, because comedy is so rhythmic and like so mathy, and so it's like I think
it's a few keys up. Interesting. You said down.
Well, I mean, in terms of proficiency.
Oh. Yes, way down.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like in terms of like
we're multiple octaves down.
I'm just saying that like you have a proclivity and understanding of the sort of like the template and like the way
it's timing, it's tempo, it's stress, it's relief, it's callbacks, it's setting up, it's heightening, it's hyperbole, like it's all of that.
I mean, I think it's actually more like it's also even the electronic and like short clips of it is also like so essentially your comedy.
Just brief jokes.
No, but it's like the punchiness of it and like the very rhythmic quality. Like, you know, like the way you're even talking about it, it's like tension, release, blah, blah, blah. Like it's less exposition. There's
interesting.
no impulse towards jazz. Like what if I just doodled and noodled for a bit? You know, just let it go. You're like, no, it needs to go somewhere. And then once it gets there, we're returning.
Yeah. Yeah. Back home.
Back home.
Back
or
to
somewhere,
one.
or somewhere new.
Yeah.
You know, that's
I guess like that's just how my brain is like wired. It's wired towards math.
Yes.
It really, really is. That's why I keep asking people I love, do you think I'm autistic? Because besides the like ultra rude behavior and, you know, lack of like severe lack of nunchi sometimes.
Yes.
I do have this like repeating kind of mathematical view of just everything I do.
But for me, it's like it is mathematical, but it's also to an end. You what's like, you know, you want to like 귀찮으면 like, you know, like what's the word here? Like where you put it aside, like 챙기는 거, like. You know what I mean? You want to get rid of it. Like 챙기고 싶은 거, 그 느낌. You know what I mean? Like it's like you want to, like let's get it done.
Yeah.
Like let's just like, oh, is it in order? Who cares? Just like you put all the papers together, and then
well, that is very my 성격.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like 말돼, like you know what I mean? Like it's like I don't know what the word is.
Like 설치다.
Yeah, kind of like it's like
I'm rushing to get it done.
But it's not just that. Like you want to like clear the table. Like you want to like, you know, like reset. Like, okay, everybody finished. Okay, let's go.
Let's
to
go.
the next. You know?
Yeah.
전기
I'm on the move.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I don't know what the word is, but it's like, it's something very specific where it's not just impatience or anything, but it's like very specifically this impulse towards, it's not even order. It is like the next.
Yeah, the next thing.
Next. Like I've done this.
It's very capitalism coded.
It's like to me it's like you know, when my mom would want to eat the next course, like 다 먹었니? Like, you know, 다 먹었어, like that you know, and then like you just have to like kind of scarf it all down before she takes it away. Yeah. And then puts it all in one big pot and then like moves on. It's that. Like it's like, you know, like no, like what is it? Like 급한 성격 for sure. Yeah. But like it is also, it is like what's next, and it is all. I think in my mind that is a very specific kind of, you know, in West Wing, the president Martin Sheen always going what's next. Like he's
on to the next.
Yeah, he's like cleared it in his mind, so it's like I understand. So even if it's not resolved, next.
We're moving on. Yeah.
Like it's a very specific kind of mind that like works that way because you're very forward. You know, and so it's like it's kind of like remarkable.
I'm sure it must be very tiring to be with me.
Why?
Because I am very like that, and I do tend to like not just chill in the present, and I want to move on. Yeah, you know, to the next thing. So like. Some people aren't like that. Like my partner, Eric, he tends to be very like, let's hang out and like look around for a while. I'm like, look around for what? We got things to do.
What's next? Like what's the thing to cross off next on a list?
Yeah, I got to get shit done.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm very get shit done mode. I'm very like efficiency over everything mode.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
It's good.
It's good for business. It's not great for relationships.
I mean, if anything, I think it's remarkable that you have an impulse towards self-reflection because that requires you to slow down and take a moment and inside. Yeah. I think it's probably like it must be very frustrating for you because there's like nothing to like put aside because you always have to live with yourself.
Yeah, that's hard. Well, career's been like that, you know, very like next. Even boyfriends was like that until I, you know, met the right one and I settled down. But, you know, he's forever living in my zone of next.
Yeah.
And, I'm sure his head's spinning. He's been away for a week, which is why I made music, I think.
Oh, 보고 싶어서?
No. No, that's sweet. I do miss him, but it's not because I wasn't making music because I was like, oh, I'm in my feels about him.
Yeah. No, I mean just like because he occupies like a musical space in the home, so you were feeling it.
I think maybe that's part of it as well, and I also always feel like bad going to him for music.
Okay.
Unless it's like, hey, do you want to come fill in this like slot on my show?
Sure.
Or like, do you want to like basically play you do you around me? That I'm fine with because that's like that's a gig. But for me to be like, I have a ditty in my head and for me to like go to him and be like, we do have like a project that we have been working on called Bonnie Beach Sessions. Mm-hmm. And we have like 4 songs kind of outlined, but it takes a while for us to like get back into it.
Right.
Because the work is solely on him. And it's me standing and going, no, yeah, more, louder,
Oh God,
it sounds a lot like when we're making love.
No.
I don't know. Do you like it? You don't like it, right? Next.
Sorry.
What else do we have?
Yeah.
What else do we have? So
next track.
It's definitely not a pleasurable experience for him. I have enough self-awareness where I'm like I'm beyond it because I'm like, you're doing all the work and I'm just bringing like ideas or like how to fix or how to fill or, that's what I'm good at is like, I'm a good editor. I look at something and I go, okay, how do I fix this? What does it need?
It's kind of like being a network executive. Yeah.
How to balance it. You have called me the N-word so many times on this podcast. You need to stop right now. No, I mean, truly network executives, if they could give me a way to fix something, I would gladly welcome notes.
Little more. No.
Network executive is that like, I don't know.
Do you like it?
Not working.
Do you like it?
Yeah.
Do you think he'll like it?
Should we send it to somebody else?
Yeah,
like
I don't. I'm not responding to it immediately. Maybe if you made that, that little beep 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 in the corner. Yeah. Could you make it like a instead of a beep beep beep? Can you make it a boop 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 boop?
Boop 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 boop.
Okay, can you try it? Oh no, you know what? That's wrong. That's my bad.
Well, that's exactly what I was doing.
Yeah,
that's what I was doing to him. I was like, don't do not the beep beep beep. I want boop boop boop. Meaning I want this sound's frequency to be in a lower range than this.
But
beep,
but
beep,
doing
beep.
this MIDI thing means that now you're more proficient and can now articulate to him with greater accuracy.
I don't even need him. That's the great thing. No, I do need him.
Peter,
I could sketch out basically like what I sent to you, this 90-second thing.
Yeah.
I could be like, here's my idea. I need help filling in a guitar riff for the chorus to kind of really give it energy or something like that. So then he could like only just do a guitar riff and send it back to me and I could tinker for another 72 hours. Like the tinkering for me, I'm really getting off on. It really feels like just writing a script. Just going back and like, oh my God, the zone, the flow, the tinker flow.
Yes.
I'm so like in love with the like flavor of it.
I'm not a big tinker person. I prefer to make things with my hands. That's like kind of my creative thing. Like I either
like clay.
No, like I'll sew, I'll put things together, I make paper stuff. Like, I like to do things with my hands,
Agi-jagi.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I like to, that's the reason why I enjoy Legos with my son. Like I do really like building things. And that's more my sort of, and especially if there are instructions and a end goal, like then I'm not, I don't permit my like my 성격 is to like just put it down and then try something else. What if I added this whole other part to it?
Yeah.
And that doesn't.
Let's make flowers now. Yeah.
Yes. And like abandon this tweed hat. And then they're like, well, it would be cute with flowers. And then I'll just make flowers and I'll just abandon that part of the project.
And now you're arranging floral bouquets.
Exactly. You know, and I'm just doing this. And, you know, whereas with something like very specific that's project based, that there is an end goal, like I know where it's going. With something open ended like this, where it's a forever tinker, I would abandon and never pick up. Because it's like, so I need an end goal. That is more
right. It's the product versus process.
Absolutely. I do like the process, though. I mean, I like just like making things. You know,
you need like a map. You can't just be like, here's 1,000 Legos, make me anything.
Yes.
And you'll just like turn out with nothing.
Yes.
Okay. I see what you're saying.
Or I'll have like 4 piles of things that will never resemble anything. But in my mind, it was going to be, you know, the castle, like some castle in Scotland that I saw. You know, but I'll never be able to like finish it because I can't focus on it long enough without something very specific and a goal. So like I did well with like patterns, like sewing patterns, right? So there's a template, do this, you finish. Yes. And I'm done. And that's kind of like how I work with other things where like I have an end goal or I have a deadline.
You need an assignment.
Yes.
That's your assignment focused.
Absolutely.
Yes, I am like that too.
Yeah, especially and the thing is like the tinker, I wish I was better with it because that's like golf. That it's like a game you're forever perpetually playing with yourself and like you're only beating yourself or whatever. And I would never there's something about that. Like even with tennis, I liked it because it's the same sort of like tinker. Like you're just constantly playing against the greatest opponent.
You can't do it alone though.
Tennis?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of can.
There are only a couple of things you can really do alone.
Golf is one of them, yes.
Golf, you're completely... although you might be in a foursome, like, it's just you and the field.
Exactly.
Right.
So, I mean,
it's alluring to me, that kind of... Something like that, where I'm, like, forever honing.
And that's like the same thing with like meditation. It's very hard for me to like, unless there's like a goal that I'm trying to achieve, it's very hard for me to like stay. I will say even with stand up, even with comedy, it is helpful for me to like have an hour in mind for me to do this. Because I'll dick around forever. I'll just never get there. So the process for me, even as a creative person, I do require a certain amount of like structure. Otherwise Yeah, but I mean, I'm happy for you to have found this at the young age of 41. It's so wonderful that as a prodigy that you finally found the thing that you're a prodigy at.
Yeah, it's EDM. No, I've always been a musical person, but I've always lamented the fact that I'm too old to learn how to, like, my body gives out when I like try to learn guitar or piano or whatever, like anything I've tried. It's the body's not like listening to the brain.
Yeah, the body keeps a score. Yes.
The drama, yes. But because of the meaty stuff, all the electronic stuff, like the body is no longer an issue.
Right.
Like I could be using a fucking stump or like my tooth to be clicking. You know what I mean? Like I don't need goddamn hands or feet. Like
I mean, I wonder if that sort of stuff will help. I mean, there are things about technology that, can I tell you today, I openly wept at a coffee shop.
Tell me why.
Because I was listening to the Daily episode about the rebels in Myanmar and the young people there, and like how they're like kind of, they've taken there's been movement. Like Myanmar has been embroiled in a civil war that's actually fucking horrible for generations. And then there was briefly a bright spot where that woman that had been jailed was released, and she was supposed to be this like exemplar and held up inside the international community as this like nonviolent person that was now implemented as the leader. And then there was a coup. And they were, they're ethnically cleansing there, all this stuff. If you follow the story at all, I mean, I'm always interested in these kind of niche international stories about like civil wars and stuff. And, you know, what's happening in Myanmar is like what's happening in Bolivia, what's happening in, you know, there's a ton of places like this. So, yeah, there's like whatever number of ethnic cleansings occurring in the world right now. So, but they were talking about how the young people, they're basically hipsters. Like equivalent of it in the 60s would be like the hippies. Like people that really believe in the revolution and want to bring democracy to Myanmar, or as they want to call some parts of it, Burma. And they are using, and like they're like, they're in the fucking jungle, you know. They have no internet, and they're creating this infrastructure. They're on boards with like the people in the Ukraine, making and like collaborating and like learning how to make drones into like the drones you buy on fucking Amazon. They're getting those and then like revamping them into war, like using them from war, turning them into weapons. And they're using 3D printers.
Oh my God.
They're using 3D printers, like same things that bring you your favorite specialty items on Etsy. They're using them to turn this shit. And like, you know, and it was just like, so it was moving to me insofar as like, to me, what's crazy is this was coincided with my son asking me today if there's anywhere better to live than America today.
Wow. Why did he ask that?
Because we were listening to an NPR story about Bolivia and just sort of like, you know, in Venezuela, there's like coups everywhere right now. There's a lot of countries that are in flux and have unstable governments. The coup is the thing. Like Venezuela has had a coup every year almost to try to take down Maduro. Like and
it's cuckoo out here.
Yeah. Somebody asked me, and you know what, can I tell you, as an immigrant, and you know, like I have this like weird immigrant patriotism sometimes, and it did kill me to kind of be like, yeah, they're a couple. And then talking about Canada, and I'm like, I mean, it's not necessarily better, but I was like, it is safer, and it is all these things, and it fucking did 100% kill me.
100% safer to be a public school student.
Yes. I mean, all of it. So he's like, why is it safer? I was like, because there are no guns and there's like, they have healthcare and like all this stuff. And I explained it. And it did kill me a little bit. So as I'm listening to this about these young people fighting for democracy, like in the most naive, optimistic way, because the reporter reporting on it ends the entire episode by saying like, revolutions fail. And that's the truth. Like all these coups I've just described in Venezuela failed, right? Patriots rose up to try to depose a dictator and they failed. Every single time. They've done it 4 or 5 times. And she says, revolutions fail and revolutions fail and revolutions fail until they don't. And these people, these young people in the first iteration of the revolution will probably fail. But they can't know that. Because they don't have the context this woman does. Because she's older and these people are all young.
Yeah, and they're in the front lines.
They have to believe.
They don't have Wi-Fi, so like what else are they going to do but believe?
And it was just it was just the hope,
and
it
we don't have the hope anymore.
Yes,
we don't have it because like we have it too good, honestly, and we've been placated to the point where like we can't revolution.
It made me, because there's been a bit that I've been trying to work out lately about how people trying to escape America. Like it's like, you know, we know people, and we can be like this too, Peter, where we're very doomy and gloomy, doom scrolling, doomy, gloomy. And the bit was basically being like, you know, it's hard to be like that. And when you talk to somebody who's an immigrant, where you're like, the electrical grid is always working. You're getting news from a relatively free press on a phone that you plug into an electrical grid that is consistent.
Yeah, and you're allowed to critique the people who are in charge.
And you can critique fucking anybody. You can
anyone you want.
Anyone internationally.
Yeah.
So exactly. You can fucking make anything up. You can use AI too. So
the president's an ex-con.
This is what I mean. So I think that so that was sort of like the point. And then like listening to this about hope and people that are like, it made me feel hope with them and feel especially dark and ungrateful sometimes in my space. So I did fully cry in this coffee shop thinking about America and like how dark sometimes things are. And I did feel
did you feel better?
I you know what, I feel bad and good, because there are parts of me that are genuinely like, when I look at the Supreme Court and we're looking at abortion access and we look at gun rights and stuff like that, where I'm like, we are letting the people that are, we are letting the emperor with no clothes, you know, like people on the right who are always talking about being patriotic, who are doing absolutely the worst thing for America. They're doing things to make it a worse place to live. And, you know, the fact that so many...
For us.
Yeah.
Not for them.
Yes. No, but for them too. Like how is life better regardless? You know, even with social media and all this stuff. There's just there was just a part of me where I was just like, you know, I am someone that, especially as the Olympics come up, my patriotic hackles, you know what I mean? Nothing makes you more patriotic than watching an Olympic diver wear red, white, and blue. Like there is something about it that really makes you know what I mean? Feel a way about America. And
that's so interesting. I guess I've never had that.
You don't get that during the Olympics?
Never. Or FIFA or none of that. Like I don't know why. I guess I always thought of myself as Korean.
So you only care about if Korea does well?
No, but that's why I don't like. I feel like an expat everywhere. I'm not a pat anywhere.
Oh no, I have like immigrant.
I never
pride.
had that for USA.
I have immigrant pride. Like that is very much like a toxic quality. I definitely have, where it's like, because no one is more patriotic than a fucking immigrant. You know?
Yeah. Well, you are an immigrant. That's why. I was born here, so I'm like, ew. Yuck.
Gross.
Gross.
I mean,
why here? While you fought for your green card, I was like, ugh, no. Flushing? Yuck.
I mean, it was, taking the citizenship test.
We're in a placated place where we're over the age to have that zeal. Luckily, you've had children, so they will feel it for us. And by us, I mean me and you, because I'm not going to have children. You know what I realized, speaking of children?
Yeah.
Did I talk about this last week about how I feel like I was always right about not having kids until just now?
No.
Okay.
What is this?
So, you know how I... don't really. I'm open to kids, but like being in a gay relationship, it's never gonna be like surprise, right? So like,
sure, it'd be something you have to move like, intentionally towards,
Yes, and have a filthy amount of fucking savings or whatever the fuck, right? To like not traumatize this child.
I don't know. Everyone's so obsessed with like making sure you have enough money. Let me tell you, you're never gonna have enough money.
Well, I don't have enough money for me, so definitely not for something that looks like me. You know what I mean? Like, the food's going into the original, not the copy. So,
this Xerox is not being fat.
No.
Crazy way to think
about a child. I don't want a fat Xerox.
Yeah,
exactly. My copy. That's why I shouldn't have one, right? Because that's how I look at it. I'm like, this is not.
You only think that because you don't have one yet. That's truly. You only think that.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, I was thinking about how you and my friends who have kids, not only do you feel like the joy of parenthood and et cetera, all that gushy stuff, but you and your husband specifically, let's say your husband passes before you, which statistically he will, right? Go off, queen.
Yes.
And
intentional, planned it.
You are alone in your 80s or 90s or whenever you want to go.
Sure.
Let's not go past 90s.
Yeah, let's not. That's greedy.
Let's not do that to anyone.
Yeah, that's greedy.
But when you're ready to pass, in a blaze of glory as you will, you will have your children there to bury you.
What do you mean? Oh, they're gonna dig a. Oh, to mourn me?
No, to literally take care of it?
I mean, like someone will always take care of it. The county.
Who's gonna take care of
the
it?
county? I'll be in a pauper's grave or whatever. A Jane Doe.
A county.
A body will be disposed of.
Yeah, but
regardless.
Who's gonna hold the funeral?
I mean, I guess. Like I
You
mean,
know
I'll
what
be
I mean?
dead. Who cares?
Like that's why I'm like, I can't die. I can't go out like that.
So you'd have to plan. You'd have to plan your own funeral.
What, I'm gonna ask you to do it, or any of my other old friends? No, that's so fucking 추접스러워. Like, I need to have a kid so that they bury me.
To plan a party.
Yeah, all the logistics. I don't care about the party. I'm more worried about the logistics.
I don't know. I mean, like your body will be disposed of regardless, but you want a funeral.
Of course.
I don't really care.
You don't?
Mm-mm.
Oh, I need one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't care about a wedding,
I mean,
but I do need a funeral.
I mean, I'm not.
I might have multiple funerals, honestly. East Coast, West Coast. Fuck streaming.
I mean, if you want to go on tour, your funeral tour.
You know, he finally goes on tour.
If you want to be East Coast.
He finally goes international. Someone take me to Seoul.
I mean, I don't.
So funny.
I would not. I mean, I'll be fucking dead.
I'll
be fucking dead. None of the words will. I mean, I honestly don't care. Well, of course,
the minute after you die, but like all the time leading up to you die, you know you have someone there. You have your children there to take care of you.
Sure.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
I'll be alone.
I mean,
maybe. That's like during Christmas time asking a single friend to go to like someone else's family's Christmas because they're alone. It's so lame. You know what I mean? Like that's why you have family units, so you have the decency of a fucking death.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like maybe
your friends are not trying to take care of that for you. Like I'm not trying to bury you.
You know what I mean?
You. Like
I'll fucking bury you.
I mean, you're too. Yeah, you want to bury so bad.
I'll bury you.
How do you know you're going before me? Trust.
Oh, for sure.
The way you live.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You've already ruined your body with 2 kids.
I can't wait. I mean, I guess in my mind, with like a funeral or anything like that, any sort of, one, I'll be dead. 2, I have a sort of nihilistic view about it that, you know, we are all essentially alone anyway. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I guess it'll be. Well,
let's say you break a hip and they're like, oh, should we pull the plug? I don't know. And
yeah, I'll be like, do it now. I'll help you.
But your son would be there to unplug it, not some random nurse.
If and or but.
I mean, that's the sad part.
Is it?
Being alone at the end, of course.
I guess. I mean, I didn't really.
You can't wait to be alone.
Yeah, I mean, this is the toxic part of it, right? Like, where, I mean, I'm sure in the moment it will feel cold.
You know what?
But I don't think about
I've had a parent die alone, and it's traumatizing. If you're lucky, you still have parents, even though they might not like each other that much. Yeah. They still have each other.
This is true.
It's a pairing.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like if you are alone at the end of it, you did something wrong.
I mean, I literally,
did.
Peter, it's so crazy. This is what I'm working on right now in my solo show about my uncle dying alone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's fucked up.
It's fucked up. And I will say, like,
and it's not because he didn't have a family.
Yes.
Right.
Exactly. And so, writing it out did make me cry. I mean, I guess you're right. I mean, yeah, like
it's the most tragic thing.
Yeah.
To go by yourself. And I know everyone goes by themselves. You're not dying literally together, but I'm saying like metaphorically go, not the last minute. Like unless you're hit by a bus, who cares then? My point is like with the decency of an offloading of your mental capacities and your physical fucking coil, I don't want to be at the end with strangers.
With I
don't want my doctor be the only one being like, you want me to roast you? You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, to have someone in that moment to metaphorically,
not even someone, like a family,
a unit, right? Like someone,
a unit
that you can even metaphorically,
a small village.
Yeah, like metaphorically even hand the baton off to.
One last piece of advice that you didn't need.
Yes.
I don't want to say it to a doctor.
Yeah, you wore
he hears
this.
it from lonely losers all the time.
Yeah, you lost.
I don't want to be another lonely loser.
I don't think you'd be a lonely or a loser, but like, I mean, I will say that
I need to adopt some kids.
It's not.
I need to better someone else's life.
This is what I mean, because even if you don't have a child, like even a protege, a mentee.
No, it's too much. You know what the child does? It gives them the sense of guilt and shame that shackles them into doing the service that no one else wants to do.
Peter, you're going to be an incredible parent. I will say that.
Well,
I mean,
I'm
truly.
gonna bury my mom soon, and I really understand. Like, at least she has me and my brother. You know, like imagine. She's out there, like, I mean, she is like, I'm gonna write about her life, and I'm gonna get rich.
Yeah.
But one of the saddest, like, Korean immigrant tragic stories, you know, to go out like that on.
I mean, that's the thing. It's like where I will say, it was in this way that Minari really resonated with us. Where it was like, every immigrant story is not a triumph. It's
almost
not a
zero.
Yeah, it's not a W.
That's why they're billionaires.
Yeah. I mean,
if there was immigrant triumphs, there would be no rich people.
I mean, there are tons of, and we know
there
people.
Are,
we
know
I mean, people whose parents.
Speaking.
Yes, I'm just saying we know people who are doctors. They've like launched their family inside of one generation into a different socioeconomic status. They're fucking on a trajectory, right? I will say most of them also were.
They're not happy.
I mean, what's happiness?
What's happy?
Yeah,
that's what I mean.
They have kids. They have kids. They have money. That's enough. They're successful.
I think kids. I'm looking at kids in a different way. Is what I'm eventually saying.
Because you know what? You're right. It's joy.
It's insurance.
It's not. It's joy.
It's insurance.
It's joy.
It's insurance of joy.
Yeah, because it's not happiness. It is a.
I don't even know what happy is.
It's a quantifiable.
Are you happy? No. Who's happy?
That's what I mean. It is, but
Are
it's
you
also
delusional?
It's a quantifiable, like
emotion.
No. It's a quantifiable suck on your actual happiness. Quantifiably increase in joy.
Enjoy. Okay.
So it's no fun.
It's moments of joy.
So it's no fun.
Yeah.
All joy.
All joy. Yeah, I'm open to some joy if it means not.
But joy is a grown ass. Joy is grown ass
emotion. You don't think I'm ready for it yet?
I mean,
based on my music.
No. I mean, you did give birth to it. You did give birth to it. You did create it. Yeah, and you showed it to me like someone shows someone like a picture of their baby being like,
look, I did that.
I did that. Pretty good, right?
I did.
I was like, yeah, that's good. That's music.
That's nice.
That's
good
nice.
For you.
It's a good baby. It's a baby.
Yeah. Let's see how many streams it could get.
I mean, no, like the fact I've never heard you talk like this. This is crazy.
I know. I recently had this realization.
Is it because of your mom?
I didn't cry, but I was almost there.
Was it because of your mom? Is stuff happening with your mom? Is that why?
I think so. I'm just uniquely feeling her, not uniquely, acutely feeling her mortality, and reflecting upon my own, and just looking at the mistakes she made, and trying to not do those again.
Sometimes,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. Do I know?
I'm trying.
But like genetics just keeps clawing.
No, I know. It's like the heaviest magnet ever. It's like the gravitational pull of the fucking sun.
And the thing is, you don't realize
why is genetics like this?
But this is the reason why you don't realize it when you're young. And this is, I will say this to our listeners and watchers. This is the shit right here. When you're young, this is the impulse. You are trying to run away from that version of yourself. And you should. And you got it. That's why you have to work hard when you're young. Because you have to run away from that version and that the heavy shit of your genetics. You need to propel yourself as far forward. Because at 40, you're weak. mentally and physically, and you don't have the strength to keep clawing away. So the closer you are to it, and it starts pulling you back, depending on how far forward you've moved in your 20s and 30s,
it's going to give you the...
That's right. Because you're going to lose yardage.
You're getting a buffer.
That's right.
Yes.
You're losing the yardage when in your 40s you keep crawling back. And if you haven't moved forward, if you haven't made enough advancement, if you haven't moved up the field enough, you're back.
Bing, 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 bing. You're back at zero.
Yes, right.
So what about people who have never moved at all? Then they're going negative. They're becoming worse versions.
You're in hell.
Bitch, it's Hades.
It's
Beelzebub.
Yes. And your children, even more. I mean, like, there's no room.
Yeah.
You got to get out. Kill yourself. Like, what are you talking about? Why? Why
did you do this?
Why did you do that? You never did that. I mean, I will say some people
never go.
People never go. And
now some of that is like developmental issues.
Sure, but some of them, they're already in touchdown territory. They're already like their family set them up, all those things. Like they just need to maintain.
Yeah.
If you don't have ambition and you never, explore yourself, but you are starting at a level, then who cares? Float down a little. Give us some of the scraps. But, I mean, if you are, hell. Go home. No.
So now,
it was this week.
I thought I was at because I heard my mom was sick for 10 days and she didn't tell anyone. And that really made me go, okay, well, she could have just died, and I was sitting here fucking
why
picking out lint out of my belly button. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. But the good news is she's on the second floor of a hospital, so
wait, she's still there?
No ambulance fees.
She's still there?
What do you mean she's still there? That's where she lives. That's her domicile.
I thought she was trying to get out.
She's trying. This is the gravitational pull of poverty. Yeah, she doesn't have the wherewithal to go. So she shits where she eats.
I mean, truly, like, Peter, because, with my parents, there will be no friends. They have no friends. They've burned all bridges. Right. Like, it's like they have each other.
They've paired up.
They have each other. And me. And... if I had chosen not to have children or like done what they did, in current climate, in the current culture, you really could just never pair up. Like it's a very real possibility just because everyone with the apps and all the stuff, like it's hard, so much harder for everyone. Everyone's so much more deeply unhappy.
People aren't doing monogamy anymore or like marriage or
no one is doing anything because everyone wants everything to be perfect. And it's like the idea of something imperfect, like disturbing my peace, is so, it's just like, I mean, anyways, notwithstanding all that, it will just be me, at my parents' funeral, whatever.
You think they're going to die at the same time?
I hope.
Do you hope? Oh, my God.
I'll arrange it. I mean, like, if it's possible.
I mean, not to be so morbid, but 2 birds, 1 stone. The cost savings.
Thank you. I mean, it's just... I mean, honestly, when I look at the stuff...
You should do that on stage. Wanting them to die together just so they could save money.
Twin flames extinguished together. Let's cut it out. Yeah. I mean, like,
it's romantic.
Yeah, sure. Like 2 people that really hated each other most of their lives and settled. Like, yeah. I mean, to me, that's actually a nightmare.
But even hate is a bond. You know what I mean?
But I mean, the thing is,
like that's a chong that's like cannot be broken.
I mean,
of course, it's just the other side.
Like, to me, like, even at my age, like Coachapa, like the idea that you would be, I don't know. I guess it is that's all love, right? Like you're typically intertwined with the people that have hurt you the most as well. You
allow them to hurt you the most because you open yourself the most to them.
Oh God. This is what I mean. This is courtship. This is the reason I understand.
But love is courtship, but there's no.
This is the reason why you can't
avoid.
And this is the reason why I understand young people's impulse to not pair up. Right? It's so fraught. Yeah. It's so fraught. Yeah. But
you're also getting half the story.
Yeah.
If you don't do the love.
So
you know what I mean? You're getting, because here's what and this is corny and cliche, but before I fell in love, I didn't realize there were other people's feelings. You know? And I would have never known that. So there are you people out there.
You have a brother and you are in a family
with no feelings. We don't deal in that.
It had
you
to
know
be,
what I mean?
It had to be a white.
Imagine it had to be. I mean, I just universally, it had to be this person to crack me and me to crack him. You know, like it just fits that way. And whether it's for a time or a season or a reason or what the fuck, who cares? But because relationship at the end of the day is the work that you put into it.
Absolutely.
And longevity is overrated. But there is I'm here for a good time. But
Drake is canceled, but whatever.
Yeah. And he's got long stuff.
No,
and he's long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, speaking of people with like bad familial situation.
Oh Lord.
And his children. Yeah.
It's messy. But yeah, I don't think I would have developed as a person if I didn't fall in love.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
I'd be a horrible person.
Way shittier person. And that's what love does, is it kind of like dispels you or disarms you for a moment to like look at things in a different way, which if you didn't do that, you'd just be like plodding along in your fucking algorithm day in and day out. And you would have never been like veered off that course.
I mean, I guess this is why I don't understand. Like, so many young people are so wary of red flags, or like the ick now is like the big thing, red flags and stuff. They don't want, red flag. I'm like, I want a partner.
Bitch,
I want
a collection.
This is what I mean. I want a partner with exactly one less red flag than me.
So 99?
99.
But I want someone with
one less red flag than me. That's the partner I want. Because I want someone that fucking thinks that they're better than me. I don't think so. No. And someone who's going to win an argument? Fuck that. Right. No.
These kids think that they don't have red flags. People who talk about the icks, like, you got no icks?
Everyone wants an ideal relationship.
Bitch, you start by being ideal.
You start. You go first. You go first.
Yeah. I'll wait.
He's a narcissist? Bitch, every single photo in your phone
look at your nose.
You. Yes.
Yeah. I went physical, sorry.
Look at your nose. Yeah.
Even if she had a pretty nose, I'd be like, ew, bitch, look at your fucking nose.
Wait, so can I tell you, I've been I was researching for my show. Like, so there's a genre on TikTok about very specifically the Korean beauty standards being so toxic because everyone is so invested in K-beauty and going there for like medical, like plastic surgery tourism. And there's so much stuff about how rude Korean people are. Like, that is such a big thing that a lot of people that go there are like warn tourists about, like how rude Korean people are. And one of them is that. And also very specifically how blunt everyone is about your appearance. Yeah. Like, it's not a thing. Like, it's not considered rude inside of in Korea. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it is when you leave and you don't have that, you are like, oh wow, this is what crazy that people are just accepting me for what I look like and not commenting on it. But if you're from there, it's
the not commenting on it part. They're not accepting you. It's the non-comment.
Yes.
The commenting on it, honestly, it's almost shione.
That's what I mean.
Because you're like, all right, I know where I'm at. It's like how the British are racist to your face.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like it is.
It feels less insidious.
Because there's no lie.
Where's the lie?
There's no lie.
Spot it.
I am dark skinned. I am dark. There is no shade of foundation that matches me here. You know, like
here's another thing is in Korea, they not only are blunt when you deign to speak back and say, hey, you hurt my feelings. They go, well, that's your fault for having feelings, which is something my own mother has said to me many times.
Oh, absolutely. Same.
So what's
the phrase? She's like,
are they blunt?
What's the phrase that like when they say that, like when they say like it's your fault for having like like what is that? It's a phrase.
What did my mom say? It was like
like it's like your fault, like your mom, like, do you know what I mean? It's like a phrase. It's like
my mom told me, I don't know what the phrase is, but my mom told me, well, don't think of it that way. When she said I got an ugly haircut, and I was like, 엄마, 나 그런 말 하면, you know, 나 마음에 상처받아. It's like, 그러면 그렇게 생각하지 마.
Yes, that's
what I was like, okay.
No, 그렇게 생각하지 마. But that is very much like, yes, that's part of the parlance and language, but it's like, I know, 너가 뭐 잘했다고 울어.
That means, why are you crying?
Yeah, but like it's like that same idea that it's like, why your feelings don't
matter.
It's not even that they don't matter. It's that like your outrage, like crying and being upset, is only reserved for people who have done something good.
And
or
you
deserve
did something
it.
Bad by being fat.
Or you did something wrong by like tanning too much. But
that's not
well.
like Koreans know, even though it's blunt, like to say it away versus say it like, hey, you're fat, versus like, oh, like, are you feeling okay?
Yeah, 살쪘네, like, you know?
Yeah, like that versus like, yeah, 뚱뚱해. You know what I mean? So they know there's gradations of it. They're not fucking stupid.
Because it's polite, though. It's polite. It's so polite.
They're wrapping your weight and the way you look as far as health and like clout. Like, don't you want to be prettier so that you can get more things?
Yes.
You can have an easier life.
Don't you
it's
know
like saying, like,
how
don't you want to be straight?
Yes.
Like, when you come out, like, why would you choose to be gay when you can be straight and have way more social clout? It's the same exact thing. Them saying, like, why would you choose to be monolitted when you could have 쌍꺼풀 and have more opportunities? They're saying, like, this is the way. So why are you fighting the way?
Because you know how shallow the culture is. You know how...
White people know it, but Koreans don't know. Like, Koreans in Korea do not know that they are in a toxic environment. They're slowly becoming aware of it.
Oh, yeah, they know.
As a nation. But, like, the fact that it's still culturally, like, okay for you to be, like, commenting openly about someone's looks means that most of the country is still kind of practicing it.
I mean, I think they all acknowledge and understand that it is toxic and bad, but no one is standing up to say this is going to change. It's a level of, it's this idea that...
How do you change that? Like...
I mean, it's like, it is something where, you know, I will say that there was a part of me that very staunchly, just given the way that I was raised. I mean, some of it is also because my mom was so insecure about her looks because her younger sister got married before her, like all this stuff, like she really
her trauma.
Yes, and like very 자존심, like, you know what I mean, like very insecure about our looks, very insecure about our teeth. Like, you know, they're fucking poor. Like, everyone has fucked up teeth, you know? And, you know, what's wild is that my son has the exact same tooth, like, snaggle tooth as me. It's growing in exactly the same way.
Wow.
신기하지, right? Like, it's crazy.
See, that's some Xerox shit.
That is some Xerox shit. Yeah. So
these damn genetics, we can't get away from it.
It is draws you back. But like, I mean,
it does.
The way that my mom treated my looks did make me feel crazy, especially being in that, like, growing up during our era. And, you know, the conversation around weight and looks and like how narrow what was considered beautiful was. Like, it was such a small strip. And now kind of seeing it and like being and looking at my daughter and like kind of really being so excited about the idea, like, oh, she'll get to do and be whatever version of herself, and I won't have to worry about it. I'm always like, I'm never going to call her beautiful. I'm only going to call her smart. She's not. But the thing is, the reality is that our culture and our society still operates that way. I can't tell you how many people are obsessed with her looks. She's already like egg yolk. Like, she already gives egg yolk.
Well, she's learning how to fucking trade and sell.
This is what I mean. And she's not two.
Yeah.
Like, I was not like that. So
that's hard. Yeah, that's hard, like, ingrained.
Yes. There's
into
like
our brains.
Because of the way that
it's like Pavlovian almost.
As animals, when we are assessing each other, there's something simply there. And even no matter how progressive you
Do you know
be,
the amount, when Eric and I walk around, the amount of looks he gets? Like, the way he is tall and good looking and white.
Yes.
And I'm like trolloping behind him, sweaty.
Man, this incredibly handsome man is so open-minded. He's friends with this person.
Yeah. He's letting his valet tag along.
Like, everyone's like thinking how honorable and noble Eric is.
He's doing community service. Little do they know. No,
I'm giving him notes. You're giving him notes.
But, you know, I live in America. I walk around with a white American, tall, blue-eyed, dirty blonde hair man who has...
I mean, it would be even worse in Korea, Peter. It'd be so much more intense.
No, I know. There's nowhere I could avoid it. That's what I'm trying to say. Is that at least when you walk around with your husband, you're the one getting looks.
Like,
ooh. You know what I mean? No, you're the one getting looks, and he's the one like, oh, shit.
He must be rich.
Yeah, damn.
So
like,
I was fooled.
It's interesting to, like, just, you know, go around the world like that. And I know when we go to Italy soon, it's going to be even worse. Because I've been to Italy with two Asian girls, and we were gawked at and stared
constantly.
At and, like,
it's bad.
Pointed at.
China. Yeah.
And me going with a white guy, it's going to be way worse. They're going to be like, what the fuck? And we're gay. So, like, that's going to be a whole different thing. Like, it's going to be a mess.
With this Pope?
Yeah.
What's the word again? What's the...
Papacy?
No, the word that... Because the Pope allegedly said the F slur.
He did?
Yes. In private audience. Multiple times.
Oh. In Italian?
Yes.
Oh.
I forgot what the word is.
Hot. He sounds gay. We finally have a gay Pope! Yeah!
I mean, let's be honest. Not finally. But again.
Not finally. No, yeah. Once again, welcome back. All right, folks. Thanks for listening. That's our episode for this week. Check us out on our Patreons and our socials. And check us out on our links to see where we will be next on tour. And sign up for the email list.
Yes,
Thank
please.
you so much for listening. All right.
Bye.